Did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea.
Up and fights AJ, I will be the first to hold my hands up and go fair play. He'd have to be crazy to do it. He would have to be crazy to do it. Jake Paul's never really fought anyone major, like, you know, when's he going to step up and fight a real fighter? I mean, this would definitely be one way to kill that narrative.
But Jake Paul going into a fight with Anthony Joshua, to me, is absurd. I mean, Anthony Joshua is a legitimate two-time heavyweight champion of the world. He may have got destroyed by Daniel Dubois, but notwithstanding, there's nothing physically wrong with Anthony Joshua that he can't execute. Mentally, he might be in a little bit of a difficult position after the loss to Daniel Dubois. Jake Paul, if this is not going to be, you know, curated into a little dance around exhibition, could find himself in a way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did.
UFC President Dana White has blasted the idea of Anthony Joshua fighting Jake Paul, calling it a mismatch that hurts the credibility of professional boxing. White questioned why a former heavyweight champion would face someone who started as a YouTube celebrity. His comments have sparked major debate across social media, with fans arguing whether this fight is smart business or simply a spectacle that lowers boxing standards.
Bridge with my brother, unfixable.
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to...
Dana White doubled down, saying Joshua versus Paul makes no sense for the sport and sets a bad example, where fame matters more than skill or experience. He warned that celebrity-driven fights may bring big pay-per-view numbers but risk turning boxing into entertainment rather than a legitimate competition. Eddie Hearn has now confirmed the fight will not be an exhibition. It will be a fully sanctioned professional bout, which raises the stakes dramatically. Hearn also made it clear that Joshua is preparing as if he's facing a top-ranked contender, not a social media star. The date has been moved up to December 19th, following the cancellation of the Tank Davis event, sending the boxing world into a frenzy of reactions.
Around him that will be saying to him, mate, Anthony hasn't boxed for a year and a half. Mate, Anthony got dropped in his last fight. Anthony's head's all over the place. He's gone. So listen, fair play. If he steps up and fights AJ, I will be the first to hold my hands up and go fair fucking play. He'd have to be crazy to do it. He would have to be crazy to do it. Jake Paul's never really fought anyone major, like, you know, when's he going to step up and fight a real fighter? I mean, this would definitely be one way to kill that narrative, but it would be a dangerous one. If we're offered it, and the money that I know is inevitable in a fight like that, it would be very difficult for us to turn it down. And I know some people will find a reason to not like it and moan, but I'm just going to give it to you straight always. We were going to have a run out this year in an 8-rounder against someone in the top, I don't know, 120 on BoxRec that you've never heard of. We could have a run out against Jake Paul, end him in boxing forever, get rid of this whole little silly thing, and make about 50 or 60x in the process. How can you turn it down? So if it's real, there is a chance. Jake's won fights that I didn't think he'd win. And Jake has got a lot better over the last couple of years. He ain't in Anthony Joshua's league, that's for sure. The only way this fight happens, if it's a fight, it's a sanctioned fight. I mean, ultimately, it's a cruiserweight stepping up to fight a heavyweight. I mean, previously, what did you have? You had a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight, but that was an exhibition. This is no exhibition. This is the 10-ounce big boys, and this is a real fight. We've already really got our plans with Turki Al-Sheikh for 2026, which is ultimately to fight Tyson Fury, but also to have another fight in February. We got the phone call to say, look, obviously Gervonta's out, would you be interested in December? And the only other options we had for December was to do an 8-rounder on a card somewhere, which I didn't even know was going to happen. So I said to Nikisa, if you're truthful about this, which he assures me Jake is, then it could happen. So let's live in the real world, yeah? And let's just, everybody stay calm and make logical business decisions. What would you do, right? And please don't give me the, yes, but you have to think about the legacy here. You can't eat legacy, and legacy is so important. By the way, he's an Olympic gold medalist, a 2-time world heavyweight champion. The legacy's okay. I wouldn't let him not take this fight. I would push him in the ring to take this fight. So if you want to blame someone, blame me. Just relax. One, I don't even know if it's going to happen. Two, if it does, just relax. Enjoy us going in there for boxing and sticking one on his chin. We'll go back, we'll fight Tyson Fury, etc. So just relax. But how can you say no? How can you?
After defeating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Jake Paul said his fight with Anthony Joshua was expected sometime next year. But with the surprise cancellation of the fight against Tank Davis, the bout has been pushed forward, now officially set for December 19th. This sudden shift has intensified discussions. Fans and analysts are questioning whether Paul is truly ready for a former heavyweight champion, or if the rushed timeline is more about creating headlines than ensuring a fair sporting contest.
I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next year.
Now, I know you're after a world title, but if that doesn't materialize, I know the Tommy Fury name has been floated about. Is there any other fighters who may not be world champions that you're looking to face?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua.
I think that's the main one that, we've talked a lot about is if it's not for the title, it's looking at Tommy, if he's reasonable, and then Anthony Joshua. And he's adamant that he wants to make that fight happen at the end of 2026.
Anything's possible. And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's...
Jake Paul's exhibition fight with Gervonta "Tank" Davis, originally scheduled for November 14, 2025 in Miami, has been officially canceled. Most Valuable Promotions announced that due to an ongoing lawsuit and active investigation involving Davis, the event cannot move forward under the current circumstances.
Situation, it was supposed to be boxing Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a man that weighs 133 pounds or 135. Regardless, it's a man that is way smaller than Jake Paul. So that is just ridiculous, and I've given my thoughts on that before anyway. But now it turns out that Gervonta Davis has some allegations about domestic abuse. I don't know too much about the situation, but apparently Netflix have pulled the plug on that fight. It says, here's a tweet I'm reading from Mike Coppinger. As reported, Jake Paul's return could shift to December with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring Magazine that December 12th and the 19th are...
Gervonta Davis is facing a civil lawsuit filed by his former girlfriend, Courtney Roselle, over an alleged incident at a Miami nightclub on October 27. The lawsuit accuses Davis of battery, aggravated battery, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and inflicting emotional distress. Roselle claims Davis dragged and assaulted her through several parts of the club, including the stairwell, kitchen, and parking garage. Miami Gardens law enforcement has confirmed that there is an active criminal investigation alongside the civil case.
Former boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend. This is according to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. Courtney Russell says she dated Davis for 5 months and recently filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and other offenses. She claims Davis physically attacked her a number of times during their relationship. Russell claims the most recent incident was Monday at a Miami nightclub. Davis is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Miami on November.
Jake Paul's bold decision to call out Anthony Joshua, one of boxing's most accomplished heavyweights, has shocked many in the boxing community. Critics say it's surprising to see Paul, with limited professional experience, challenge a two-time unified champion and act as though he belongs at that level.
Has just called Anthony Joshua out. Yes, Anthony Joshua, AJ, the two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. This brother called this man out. Oh my God. Now, in a recent clip on Jake Paul's podcast, I think, he basically said that he will beat Anthony Joshua's ass and he has no skill, no chin, and he's too stiff for him. He also apologized to Anthony, saying, "Anthony, I'm sorry, we're friends, but I know I can beat your ass." This guy is tapped in the head. But then again, he almost got a fight with Tank. If Tank beat Lamont Roach when they drew, he would have fought Jake Paul. It was lined up, basically. A lot of people get mad when people say he's the face of boxing. These highly rated boxers want to fight Jake Paul. So, I don't know what to say, honestly. But one thing for sure, AJ will never fight. AJ is too classy for that. Way too classy. He respects the sport of boxing too much to fight this guy. Absolute plonker. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And make sure you follow for the most up-to-date and sharpest boxing.
MMA fighter Anthony Smith has offered his take on Jake Paul's strategy. Smith believes Paul deliberately targets famous fighters to secure massive paydays. According to him, Paul uses trash talk to provoke legends or well-known names into stepping into the ring, creating high-profit matchups. This fits a pattern many boxing purists have criticized. Paul often chooses older, inactive, or crossover fighters, moves that generate huge attention but raise questions about competitive credibility.
Jake Paul beats Anderson Silva. We should all fucking boycott the rest of his fights until he fucking fights someone that's on his level or whatever level he we deem him to be on. You talk all this shit about MMA fighters. You talk shit about the UFC. Then you pretend that you want to bring fighters up and you want everyone to get paid better, but then you trash everyone every time they fight. Now we're putting food on your fucking table for you to drag our legends, older, shorter, smaller, past their prime legends that have spent their entire careers running their bodies into fucking car accidents. And then we hold these guys near and dear to our heart. And then this fuckhead just pulls them out of fucking semi-retirement and then just knocks them out in fucking pay-per-view and then still shits on all of us. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, why are we still fucking